From Tobacco Republic in Loomis, California, the Lim Cigar Cartel presents Beyond the Humidor, a cigar podcast for the rest of us. Hey everybody, welcome back. Scott Robinson with you for another episode of Beyond the Humidor. I am accompanied as always by two co-hosts, Rogaine Success Story and Not So Much.
What happened to Captain Picard from Wish?
I figured, you gotta vary it a little bit.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, there you go. And then
both statements true, however.
And we got our man on the board, the camera gorilla, recently promoted, or as I like to call him, Dr. Zayas. How you doing?
You know, you keep trying to make Dr. Zayas stick, and I think our marketing department is trying to work an angle here, and you're kind of screwing it up.
You can say it. I fucked it up. Okay.
I was going to give one of you the E this time. I came out the gate last episode just kicking that E rating wide open, so I figured,
So I'm a little disappointed in the entire start of this morning, just for the simple fact that neither one of them picked up on it. Have you noticed that, Camera Gorilla?
The fact that you two are wearing matching shirts is fucking creepy. Yes, I noticed it at breakfast. I chose to leave it alone.
Wow.
Yeah, we were doing a classy thing by not saying anything.
Yeah.
Holy shit. I'm impressed.
Yeah.
Thank you. Speaking of...
The chances of us both losing that bet are slim and none. We stand corrected.
Uh-huh. By the way, there's something else that we should mention on our show.
Uh-oh.
Anthony, tell us about your show that aired its first episode last week.
Oh, good Lord. So at some point there will be a crossover episode.
Yeah, sometime in September.
Yeah, I finally convinced two of my buddies to sit down and watch my favorite television show with me and get their reactions on it. And that would be the American classic 1972 to 1983 MASH, which I didn't realize until after the Godfather podcast is also turning 50 this year.
Yep.
Which, knowing those two things came out the same year kind of hurts my brain. But essentially it's a one episode at a time watch through, and I don't know that anyone wants to hear a bunch of millennials' opinions on a 50-year-old TV show, but if you do, there's a podcast for it.
And it's called?
It's called Best Care Anywhere.
And you can pick that up on all the major platforms that we're on, so check it out.
And now's a good time because we literally just did the pilot episode, and that episode will be going up Monday. Or I guess a week ago Monday, because time isn't linear, and it's just kind of a big ball of,
Well, basics of it is
Let it go.
you listen to our podcast 1 week, the next weekend is his podcast. So, there you go. Your month is full.
Woo.
Okay, so we filled in your once a week podcast time. Look at that. We're helpful beavers.
Yes, we are.
We try.
You're back on the beaver thing, huh?
Apparently.
I swear we need to get a beaver as a mascot. Just a stuffed beaver, not a real beaver.
Glad you clarified that, Robinson.
Yeah, that was a hell of a save right there. You slid right into it, my brother. Slid right in.
Just a little bit. How you doing, Larry?
Oh man, I'm good. We had a great breakfast. Just getting ready for a beer fest this afternoon. So I ate a bunch of greasy hash for breakfast, to build kind of a base layer in my stomach, and then I'm insulating that with some bamboo rum. So we're pretty well dialed in. Hey, Greg's already found a beaver.
There's your stuffed beaver for you.
That's a little creepy. Are those slippers?
No,
it's those slippers.
It's an 8-inch plush mini flopsy beaver named Aurora.
Don't say 8-inch beaver. You are not equipped for an 8-inch beaver, sir.
What's everyone smoking today?
Look at did you see the segue from the gorilla? What are we smoking today? Whose idea was it to bring this damn kid on this show?
Yours.
Yeah. Damn it, boy.
I figure we had so much great momentum from the last episode, we might as well use it to run completely off the tracks.
Yeah,
We've done that before.
Yeah.
Why
Okay,
not?
dude. Okay, so for the folks who are watching it on the YouTube channel, this is where Camera Gorilla comes in. Is going to have to put a picture of that beaver because you just shown it to us.
I'll send it to Camera Gorilla so he can post it.
Good man. Although I don't care for that particular beaver.
Understood.
Yeah, I think we need to find a better stuffed beaver.
Okay.
So I'm going to be on the hunt for beaver this week.
God forgive me. If you want to see our beaver, subscribe to the YouTube channel.
So
More like OnlyFans.
So Larry.
Scott will be stuffing his own beaver. Wow.
So Larry, what are you smoking today?
Jesus Christ. Oh, yeah, you got to start with me. You figure I'm the one that's going to compose myself the fastest. Poor choice there, my friend. But, all right, let's give it a go. Jesus.
We got him.
Jesus H. Christ. All right, we have here the Superfly Maduro by Oscar. Kind of one of my go-tos. Pretty much anything in Oscar's line, it could be one of my go-tos. But I really like this. It's a Mexican San Andreas wrapper. Binder is from Honduras, and the filler's a mix. It has Honduran, Nicaraguan, and Dominican Republic fillers in it. Typically, you find these in a Toro, or what they call this a Super Toro. It's a 6x54. This has just always been a really well-constructed cigar. It is a Maduro, and it is a little bit on the stronger side of a Maduro for some people. To me, this is kind of a medium, middle-of-the-road Maduro. But once again, if you don't smoke a lot of dark cigars, make sure you do this. You smoke this after having a little bit of a meal, or just sit down and relax and smoke this. But no, Oscar's line's fabulous, and I really love this cigar.
Yeah, Oscar's always been one line that I really enjoy, and he doesn't touch anything that isn't good.
Yeah, and he comes up with some cool, coming from the art and design side of what I do for a living. His bands, his boxes, are always just off the hook as far as the eye catching, the marketing to what they do with their line, all their lines is just really super cool. So that's kind of what attracted me to him to begin with, to be honest. And the whole kid in the candy store thing, which plays into what we're going to be talking about today. But it just, oh man, that's cool looking. I got to try one of these, and then it's a fabulous cigar on top of it. So it's like, oh wow, okay, this is really cool.
How about you, Greg? What are you smoking, my friend?
So I've got the Arturo Fuente. It's a Hemingway series, which you guys know. I mean, their line is just spectacular. This is the Hemingway Fuente Classic. It's a natural. It is a little bit loud in the mic. It is a Cameroon wrapper, which is one of my favorites. It's a natural color. Binder and filler is Dominican, 7 inches. Ring gauge is 46. This has, I don't really know what to call it, but it has that funny little drop tip on the end of it.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's a Fuente line. It's not a go-to because, as, you guys have heard in California, price point can sometimes be an issue, but, given that it's a celebratory day, I figured I would smoke something nice.
There we go. Didn't I just see an email come up either this morning or yesterday from Rocky Mountain that Fuente is confirmed?
Yes, Fuente is confirmed to be there, which means you two assholes will be able to get there and get what you want, and I don't get shit.
Oh yeah,
once again, I'm third-class steerage commoner entering this stupid event.
Camera Gorilla, I need you to work on a project this week. If you wouldn't mind, on the soundboard, we need the Price is Right losing horn, because he's going to keep mentioning this shit up until we get to the festival.
And continue on afterwards.
Stand by. Editing, Anthony. There you go.
Thank you, sir.
I like it. I like it a lot.
I myself today, being that it's a celebratory day for me, I am smoking the Davidoff Yamasa. Spring by Vivaldi. Just brings happy memories as I smoke this Davidoff, creation of Hinke Kellner. Hinky? Oh, okay. Hinky. Okay. My apologies. This is a dream of his to working on it for about 20 years. It's a combination of Dominican and Nicaraguan. The Dominican is grown in the Yamasa region, which is kind of swampy, but really ideal for growing tobacco. You have this combination. It's a very, for lack of a better word, a very clean smoke, really smooth and just delightful. It was actually my alternate because the couple of cigars I really wanted to smoke, like an Atabey or a Partagas Series D number 4, I could not get. And we'll talk about the Cubans in a bit.
Mm-hmm.
So
Bad news, folks. By the way, even though we know this goes out a week from now, happy birthday.
Thank you. And Larry was good enough to get me a gift. Was Camera Gorilla involved in this as well?
Kind of like an asshole.
Camera Gorilla walked in right after it was delivered. So no, Camera Gorilla had no participation in this.
Okay.
And truth be told, actually, I had no participation in this either. But no, you're going the wrong direction.
Okay.
I'll explain what I mean after you open it.
All right, here we go.
So, and you got to remember, most of our fans listen, don't visualize. So you got to talk your way through this.
Okay.
So it's a gold bag with alligator print on it.
Okay, and ooh, nice. Excuse me. It is an ashtray with the Loomis Cigar Cartel logo imprinted upon it.
Now there's two of us with one.
Okay,
Yes.
so let me explain this a little bit. Number one, technically not an ashtray because there's no lips to put your cigar.
You're right. It's not.
Could be an ashtray.
I think I know what I'm going to do with it.
That what the maker of this designed this for is kind of a catch-all when you empty your pockets. Have that on the dresser. This was presented to me by a very good friend of mine named Paul Klein.
That is nice.
His wife has been a longtime customer and friend of mine at the shop, and this is his hobby, and he bought a new piece of equipment for said woodworking hobby, the router that cut that shape out of walnut, and then engraved the logo into that, which he poured resin in. So I was so impressed with that. Number one, when he brought it to me, I thought, now I know what Scott's getting for his birthday, which means I don't have to go to Bevmo right now and buy a bottle of scotch. Number two,
Got you covered on that.
Number two, I've also commissioned more of the one for each one of us. So
Nice.
we will have these, and it's if you out there in listener land are interested in seeing what we're talking about, we'll put some pictures of this up on the website, but also you can check out Paul's stuff at Really Good Wood on Facebook. He makes charcuterie boards, he makes wooden kitchen utensils, and we have one of his walnut charcuterie boards, and it's just, his stuff is amazing. It's off the hook. So
Yeah, I'm thinking this is going on the door to the office or up on the wall.
Oh, there we go.
I just thunk that. I was like, I have ashtrays, but this would be nice on the wall.
Yeah, because the depth and stuff, it's really cool.
Yeah.
So there's a little card with it, tells you what kind of wood it is, how to care for it, how it was made, and all that good stuff.
Sweet.
So happy birthday to you, sir.
Thank you, kind sir. Let me put this away.
So while he's doing that, we did have a winner for the hat. And that winner is standby one.
Standing by.
I got like 4 emails for the cartel, so the winner is James. James sends us a very nice email from Stanford, Florida, and we apologize, James, for not getting to you earlier on this, but we had a couple things roll in for the last couple shows. Not to put anybody on the spot here, but one of the things he sent us in this email is he asked us our favorite leaf or wrapper leaf type that we like, and our favorite cigar that's our go-to. So,
You're
James,
first.
hang on, James. That will be the show after next when we'll get to that.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Works for me.
Make sure we, got notes for this, then we don't forget.
Yeah,
do
I
this.
have it written down.
Yeah,
All right.
I put it on my calendar.
Good times.
When you said put us on the spot, I figured you wanted an answer.
Yeah,
now,
yeah.
So.
No, I don't want an answer now. I want to, spend some time and, really answer his questions well.
Hey, James, if you think about it, you get a chance, man. Shoot us a picture of you in sunny Florida in your new Luma Cigar Cartel hat, would you?
Mm-hmm.
Appreciate it, man.
Yeah, we appreciate the input. I read that letter. Very nice letter, James. So thank you very much. And for everyone else out there, we would love it if you just, even just dropped us a line, man. Send one sentence. I mean, I don't care if it's you suck, go home, whatever. Just, drop us a line. And if you're an Apple listener, hop on to the podcast page and just, click 5 stars. Or 1 star. I don't give a fuck, but just, click something.
No, you do, but yes.
29 1-star responses coming our way right now. Way to go, jackass. But we have a couple more promotion, ideas in the wings. So, stay tuned. We got a couple of cool things coming up that are, branded to us. So,
Yep.
Yes,
stay tuned for that.
Now let's hop on to one of the topics du jour in this episode.
Which ugly subject do you want to hit first?
Let's talk about Cuba, just because I was kind of searching over the past couple of weeks, and my go-to, not to give anything up, but definitely my go-to is a Partagas Series D number 4 as my favorite. So I figured, it's my birthday, I'll treat myself. So I will try to acquire some Partagas or Trinidad. Everything is sold out. Apparently over the past month, Habanos SA has decided that they're going to align prices across the board all over the world. They had one of their biggest years last year because it was post-COVID, so people were buying Cuban cigars like mad. So they decided to align the prices with Hong Kong prices, which is bad for us because Hong Kong is one of the most expensive, if not the most expensive, Cuban cigar market there is.
It is the most expensive.
Right. So basically that Cohiba you were used to getting is probably how many times more expensive?
Well, Larry and I were figuring it out because Larry's math is clearly better than mine. The average price increase is going to be 150%. So that takes our $25 Cuban, our $25 Lancero that we got from Operation Cuban Liberation, and makes it $74.
Wait a minute. Did we determine that was 125%?
150%.
150%.
Well, 100% increase would be 50, and half of 50 is, so yes, $74.
1.5 times 25.
Uh-huh.
Okay, yep. Please pull out the calculator.
Standing by. Dead pause, as Larry.
Yeah, time.
As Larry.
Sorry,
Larry
I gorilla
keys
fingered
the
it.
keyboard
What
here.
are we at? We're at $25 cigar.
Times 1.25. Or 1.5, excuse me.
No, plus 125%. Makes that a $56.26,
Yeah,
25
it's
cent
expensive cigar.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, that's kicking it up quite a bit, and that's if you zoom in on that, there's the math right there. Camera gorilla, pay attention there, gorilla.
I'll put it on screen.
Yeah,
But yeah, it's, can you imagine what a Bahique is?
Well, they're averaging $64 if you can find, or $60-something if you can find them. So
Right.
yes,
okay, but I think we need to point out something
By
here,
all means.
that we tend to forget a little bit. There are some great Cuban cigars. Let me just state that right away.
Right.
Cuba is starting to come back in the premium cigar market. And I know I'm going to rattle some cages by saying this. They are just now starting to come back. Because anybody that knew anything about cigars left Cuba a long time ago.
true.
So the resurgence or rebranding of Cuban cigars is what's occurring now. Scott's got the Partagas that he likes. Back in the day, and I haven't smoked anything out of Cuba. One, because you couldn't get it. Two, because it was already at a price point that I just wasn't comfortable with personally.
Right.
But Monte Cristo number 2. Another, I think, is
that one's a terrific cigar.
One of the terrific, great cigars out of there. I think they're doing themselves a disservice with trying to set this price point, because I think they're just creating another hurdle for them to, for people to try to clear. They've already, they're just now, in my opinion, reemerging as a viable, manufacturing area for cigars again. And you just took 3 steps backwards by pushing the price up.
I don't think so. I mean, it's great for them because the market is going to bear it. I mean, the type of people who smoke Cuban cigars could care less about the price point. You still have, even in 2022, the Cuban mystique. It's like, ooh, it's a forbidden fruit. Oh, it's from Cuba. You have people who, let's just say, I'm not going to say ignorant, who don't, and this is a hard one, who don't have a range of smoking cigars. They just think, some people get into cigar smoking and think, okay, well, I heard that Cubans are the best cigars, so I'm just going to smoke Cubans. Or people who are just wrapped up into that whole, Cuban cigar thing. It's a status thing, or they think that, for whatever reason, that the Cuban cigar is better. So they will flock to it. And you got the people who think, well, it's got to be good if it's so expensive.
No, I understand all that, but it's part of the problem with some of that thinking is the forbidden fruit angle only works here in this country, which is not even in the top 10. If you look through, I was looking through that Half Wheel article that Greg sent us. The United States is not even in the top 10 as far as markets for Cuban cigars,
which is true.
So that's not even a talking point for their top 10 markets. And I get the fact that if Cuban cigars is your thing, you're going to spend the money,
right?
But that's a constant. That's always been true.
Yeah.
Where I think they're doing themselves a disservice is they've ultimately created a ceiling or a floor, depending on which way you look at it, to getting new smokers into the market, just based on price point. Because I'm listening. I see where you're going. I got Scott's look on that. But just think about the group of guys that frequent this place.
Okay.
Who have never picked up a certain stick or a certain line of sticks out of these 2 humidors in this brick and mortar establishment, strictly based on price point, because they will not spend that much money for it to even try it one time. So that is what my feeling is on the price point. If you're going to align price, why would you align at the very peak of the market? Why wouldn't you come down 2 steps on the ladder and go there and make it so that your price point is a little bit better in one of your top markets in the world, which is Hong Kong?
True.
I think
because there's a lot, but see, I think the thing is there's a lot of money in Hong Kong.
No, I get it, but it's just,
but there's not necessarily in the rest of the world.
So you're pulling.
Well, if you're talking that, I mean, you have a group of people who are more than willing to spend the money. So it's kind of like, Honda, for instance. Honda can sit there and sell cars like 5,000, 7,000 above sticker, and you're going to pay it. Consider yourself lucky if you find a Honda at sticker. Yeah. It's like people are just going to, it's like, well, Honda's a great car. The engine's bulletproof. I mean, hell, I had one that lasted almost 400,000 miles. It's like, it's a bulletproof engine. It's reliable. I'm willing. Yeah, I'm willing to pay. It's just what people are willing to pay. And I don't even think that Habanos SA really, and this is my opinion, Habanos SA could care less about the entry-level smoker. They, they're all, it's all about the mystique, and there are good cigars. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying Cuban cigars are crap, because hell, my go-to is a, Partagas.
Yep.
In Trinidad Vigara. I believe that's the pronunciation. He hasn't corrected me, so I'm assuming
I don't
it
know.
is.
I can't go there.
The Trinidad Honduran. Yeah.
Okay. Fuck you. Fuck you.
What did I do?
You encouraged me.
So
That's what I'm going to testify in open court.
do you think, one of the things I was thinking about when we were talking about this show is we know that they're going to price. Let's take the U.S. market out, because the U.S. market, frankly, just doesn't exist. But if they price out other areas of the world, I mean, there are large financial centers around the world. There's London, there's Hong Kong, there's Shanghai, whatever. If they price those markets out, do you think that will be a little bit more of an uplift for the non-Cuban market? Because now, yes, you have the smokers that are only going to smoke that, but now we have an entire market of people that are going to look at that and go, I'm not paying that, but I still want to get into cigars.
Well, if you reading some of the sub-articles off some of that stuff, I think that's where a couple of the larger production outfits that aren't Cuban, that's where they're seeing themselves positioning. They already have a brand presence that is, close to that level, and they're just going to step up their marketing on that. Arturo Fuentes that's basically been their whole marketing strategy the whole time here, the last 20 plus years.
Yeah,
is we make a fine quality cigar at this price point that will compete with anything else in the world. Now, did they just come straight out and say we are a direct competitor against a Cuban-made cigar? No, but that's what it's inferring, and I personally think they're right. They make a fantastic product.
Absolutely.
I question the reasoning as to you're going to put the price point based in Hong Kong, which is, yes, it absolutely has enough money for the cigar smokers in that market to cover whatever cost they put on it. But geographically, Hong Kong is not a huge area. That's not a big footprint.
No, it truly
and
is
you're
not.
trying to you're basically pricing out potentially, maybe not, maybe I'm 100% wrong, I don't know, but you're potentially pricing out other financial markets, like Greg said, that the footprint is drastically larger, so there could be potentially exponentially more people in that market buying that product.
You're going to roll your eyes at me, but Hong Kong, if I remember, is about 14 square miles.
Yeah, I was absent that day.
Yeah.
Well, anyway,
go
it's
ahead.
small. It's basically equivalent. Think about it this way. The size of the island of Hong Kong is the same size as the Buckingham Palace estate. Consider how big London is. Hey, I just helped make your point, okay?
Yeah, I get that.
Can we get that in American measurements, please?
It's about the same size as Nancy Pelosi's house.
Yeah, because that's helpful.
Yeah. For those of you not in California,
Oh,
that's not near
everyone,
as funny.
everyone knows who she is.
So, basically the moral to this whole story is you're going to have to be paying more money for the cigars you already enjoy.
Yes, sir.
That's
and
the
that-
short trip to Grandma's house.
Now, what none of these articles talked about, and not didn't even broach the subject, is will there be a trickle-down effect on the rest of the industry?
Good point.
Now,
will there? I mean, I don't.
well,
think
no.
there-
No, I'm serious. I'm
No, I know.
seriously asking this question. Is there going to be a certain percentage of the cigar industry that lets this, I mean, not that they have any choice, but once this comes to fruition, and here's the price point for these cigars. Now, does manufacturer A over here start creeping theirs up because they're not anywhere near this ceiling? But if this is the benchmark, this is the top of the heap, we might as well go up to here, because why not? I mean, is there going to be some of that pricing theory, do you think?
I doubt it. See,
I don't.
I agree with
and I
Larry.
don't think it's going to be across the board, but I think you're going to see a hand, and maybe not an entire line, or an entire brand, but maybe some certain specifics in some brands. I think we might see some price increases, not immediately, but I think we're going to see some stuff that, this is our flagship, or this is considered our ultra premium cigar. This is our name brand. This is our benchmark. Hey, we can bump that up a little bit. Look what Habanos Ase did. I think we'll see a little bit of that. Not right off the bat, but I think so.
Intriguing question, but I just don't know. But see, being that we are in California, I think we
already pay a premium.
Yeah, it's hard for us to judge.
Yeah, and that's what I have the hard time with, because we live in California. It's like, there's a price increase. Maybe outside the state they might notice, but us, we're kind of like,
we're already paying so much in taxes on cigars that
so what difference does
we're
it
already
make?
Kicked in the teeth a little bit.
Yeah, not in the teeth, but
okay. So it was. I read two or three different points. PCA and what they had to say. On that point as well, and it's just interesting. I mean, hey, way to set a gauge for what you feel your product's worth. I mean, I applaud you for that.
Yeah.
But I don't know, some of the ramifications down the road may have second thoughts about doing this. And maybe not. I mean, hey, maybe this will just, like Scott said, maybe this will just take that whole mystique thing to a new level, and their sales will increase and be off the charts and best year ever. But just speaking from one purchaser's perspective, not me.
Well, yeah,
I'm not going a 40% increase on cigars that I thought were too expensive for what they were already. Sorry,
not even 40%, 1.5 times more.
Yeah.
Well, and that's where like Scott and I, when we brought those boxes back from Jamaica, that was pretty much my limit. It's like $525 for one box. I bought one, I enjoyed it, but now.
Yeah, and that
No.
was, that's kind of the talking point. Hey, I had one just to say I had one. And whatever. I mean, I apparently they're doing something right, because they're still manufacturing and selling cigars.
Mm-hmm.
But it's
when I paid $1,100 for a box of Bahiques,
Was that the Bahiques or the Sublimes?
the Sublimes were about $7,850,
Ah.
somewhere in between there. But it was the
$100.
Yeah, but the Bahiques were like $1,100-$1,200. Oof. Yeah, I won't be doing that practice again.
Well, and see, that's kind of what I'm talking about. I mean, it's where is that uncomfortable line, for, and I know it's different for everybody, but as an industry, don't you have to look at where that uncomfortable line is for the volume of your participans?
Well, yeah.
And I'm thinking they may be pretty damn close to there with this,
Yeah, my favorite, I could get that at duty free. I think when I was in Mobay, I got a box for about $376 of the Partagas, which, I'm fine with, which is pretty much in line with, boxes I buy in the States.
Yeah.
So it was, pretty, relatively reasonable, I should say. So, but now, I mean, And then, if you go onto certain sites to acquire said sticks, everybody's sold out.
Yes, they are.
It is ridiculous. I thought I'd treat myself to a box of something. I can't. Went through my traditional sources and
Yeah, so that
sold out.
that $375 box at that 125% makes that an $845 box of cigars.
Well,
God, that hurt going down.
yeah. Like you were looking for your Partaguses. I was too, have been looking for a particular Partagus. And thanks to Justin and Bob, I had found a source for them. Fortunately, Justin was kind enough to part with one. I've been looking for the Partagus Lusitania.
Okay.
And he parted with one that he had and gifted me one. And I'm actually kind of glad now that he did, because my order was canceled
Wow.
because they couldn't get them.
Yeah.
So, and I'm one that was $280 for that box. So, if the price adjustment goes through, now we're talking about $600 or $700 based on the math for that $375.
Yeah.
And it's a little out of my comfort zone now.
Exactly.
But
the market will adjust itself. They'll pay what the market will bear and let the chips fall where they may.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. One of the other topics we wanted to talk about was the FDA.
Oh joy, yes. If you guys remember,
The Federal Discrimination Association.
yes, if you guys remember about, I should have looked up the actual episode number, but several episodes back, we talked to Josh Habersky from the PCA. He's one of their executives, and he is one of the lobbyists. And this is exactly what he was talking about. So we're just going to review a little bit, because this is more of a call to action, because we as cigar smokers are going to need to get involved and make our voices heard with the FDA. Otherwise, they're going to steamroll over a few things. So
Yeah,
please.
we're going to be sitting right there next to Newport cigarettes going, what happened?
Well, one of the things, and this is, I'm going to apologize in advance if I start yelling. It's not the alcohol, it's the topic. But I'm going to do my best to stay somewhat reasonable. One of the things that the FDA is trying to shove up our ass is basically saying that, and this is my biggest point of all this, is that you can't use flavor descriptors to describe tobacco products, which would include cigars. Once upon a time, when the government had fucking sense, they kind of exempted cigars because you don't have a whole bunch of 15-year-olds under the bleachers, smoking, premium or, boutique or premium cigars. Now they want to encompass cigars in this, saying basically you can't use flavor descriptors. The whole point of it is that they don't want tobacco manufacturers describing things like, in the intention. The intention was, you don't want a cigar that, or not cigar, excuse me, a tobacco product like vape, perhaps, vape or some candy coated cigarette.
Flavored cigars.
Yeah, flavored cigar. It tastes like Hawaiian Punch or strawberry Skittles or shit like that. That has been coming up in the market.
My personal favorite, you'll like this. My personal favorite descriptor for a vape product, unicorn fart.
Right.
Jesus Christ.
But here's the central problem to begin with. One, they're trying to create a blanket policy for two entirely different things.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
They want to do away with menthol cigarettes and artificially flavored tobacco products of any type. Okay? That's one issue.
Right.
You cannot lump descriptor in with that issue. Those are two entirely separate things, but that's not what they're doing. They've lumped all that together.
Yes.
A strawberry flavored cigar that is artificially strawberry flavored is a completely different thing than us sitting here saying that this Superfly has notes of chocolate and honey. Those are two completely different things.
Exactly.
But not to the FDA.
No.
And ultimately, I think this is why this is going to fail with the FDA. I think if they'd have separated these two things, they could have fought both of them. But I think if they would have separated these two things, they would almost 100% get rid of artificially flavored tobacco products. Menthol cigarettes, flavored cigars, flavored chewing tobacco, all that would probably go away without too much of a fight,
But
per se.
here's the kick in the balls, though. The kick in the balls is basically you cannot, as a manufacturer, give flavor descriptors. So
But that's never going to fly. That's completely a First Amendment issue.
you're absolutely right.
There's no way they can win that. And you can't tell me that the entire FDA is so freaking stupid that somebody in their legal end of that didn't look at that and go, yeah, that's not going to work, guys.
Yeah, it's a government entity.
We gotta look at this different. We can't put the descriptor thing in with the flavor thing. How they didn't figure this out before now just because you start reading the articles on this, whether it's PCA, whether it's stuff that Half Wheel's posting, even the piece by
Tobacco Journal.
In Cigar, the one that came out in Cigar International.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Every one of them is like, what are you, stupid? There's no way you're going to win this.
Well, yeah.
Just based on the wording alone, you've lost. And
I mean, it was to the point where they're talking about no one, even us on a podcast can't give flavor descriptors.
Could you see us having
that? I heard that, and I'm just gonna say I heard that, and what was? I'm not gonna even say it. I'm gonna allow you guys to share. Describe my reaction. I'm not gonna even react because it wouldn't be pretty.
Scott was a tad bit miffed,
just a bit.
You will.
Yeah, and there was something of the nature of, they kiss my ass. I'll say what I want.
I believe there was a color descriptor in there.
There probably was. Yes,
you
yes.
Kiss my black ass, if I remember correctly.
Mm-hmm. But they're not going to beat the Second Amendment issue.
No,
Or the First Wrong Amendment.
Amendment.
First Amendment issue.
Breaks. No.
First Amendment issue. Hey, look, I'm sorry. There's a reason.
Second Amendment is what allows us to keep our First Amendment issue.
The two are in the wrong order, okay, but that's just my opinion.
He's gonna have Black Hawk helicopters at his house Sunday morning. I can't make it to your house today, Scott. Where are you? Well, I'm over next to you, over at the FBI headquarters in Rockland.
Yeah.
Guantanamo Bay.
Yeah. They got me in an undescript concrete block building in Pennsylvania.
But that's where it gets a bit ridiculous, because are we going to have to put an announcement on the front of the show where we have Camera Gorilla record it and then speed it up 1.5 times fast, going, the opinions of this podcast are simply the opinions of that and don't necessarily represent blah, 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 right?
We should probably have that now.
Too late. But
The opinions of these pricks are completely their opinions and do not reflect. Well, we don't have any sponsors, so right,
Guys, you guys are getting way too complicated in your heads about this. It's just one sentence. Fuck you if you can't take a joke.
Yeah.
So
pissed off.
We're in the midst of for this particular injunction, whatever the hell the FDA calls this thing. We're in the midst of the comment period, where we, the public, which is why I say you guys, our listeners, need to get behind them. Send in your comments, send in your email. The more paperwork we can flood these idiots, the better. So to that end,
even if you support it, I mean, speak your mind.
Yeah.
Please, because this is how the process works.
It's supposed to.
And this is the problem. There's too many of us that, will sit and complain about the things that are being pushed our way, but ultimately we have the ability to weigh in on this. And, if you have an opinion, please, whether it's for or against, get in on this. And at least if it does pass it was a, will of the people type of thing. I mean, maybe we're in the minority. I don't know. I don't think so, but we could be. So, get the word out.
Well, as of the date of this podcast publication, there will be a link on our website. If you go to LoomisCigarCartel.com, scroll right below the big Beyond the Humidor logo, there will be a link to the comments section of this particular article. You can read it there, and then you can send in your tastefully worded comments about this thing that they're trying to do.
All right. Here's what I need. Camera Gorilla is motioning.
I can't remember the link off the top of my head because knowledge is power. There is a link, and I'll put it up. I'll make sure it gets up on social media and in this video and description of the podcast as well. There's a link that you can also, because if it's an FDA bill, it's eventually going to go before our representatives. There's a link. I'll make sure it gets posted, but where you put in your zip code and it will give you your state legislature's contact info for your district, your senator, your congressman, so you can make sure that information gets out. Because I think we have close to 200, we're roughly 200 downloads per episode. If even half those people write and convince the people they smoke with to write, one letter might not do a lot. 5 letters might not do a lot. 100 or more, then that starts to get attention. So
No, without a doubt. And I'll say this, as angry as this makes me, this is the reasonable part of me coming out. If you do decide to contact your representative, speak your mind,
But be respectful.
Be respectful. Don't be threatening or stupid shit like that. Or you could get a couple of, suited gentlemen. Or
You'll be
ladies
joining
at
me in
door.
the bunker in Pennsylvania.
Okay, well, I think I need 2 things right now. If you wouldn't
More
mind,
rum?
Lawrence. Yes, more rum, please. And we need a lighthearted story. So if Unky Larry doesn't mind, I want to take over the story responsibility portion of the show.
Oh, man. Okay. I thought you were putting me on the spot. I'm like,
I was like, wait, I didn't tell Larry we were doing an Unky Larry story.
While you're pouring your rum and getting your story ready, I have just a very short rant.
Ran away.
And this
beautiful
happens
sound.
slowly over time. So,
Thank
and
you,
if you
sir.
think about this will make sense to y'all. I am irritated by the fact that we have been slowly trained over our lifetime to perform services that we should not have to perform. What do I mean by that? Well, it started with they took away full-service gas stations. Greg's probably not old enough to remember this.
Greg's been to Oregon.
Camera Gorilla is certainly not old enough. You used to have full-service gas.
Yes,
you pull
you
in,
did.
man, they would put the gas in your car for you. They would check your oil. They'd wash your windshield.
Check your tires.
Check your tires. And they didn't just jerk that rug out from under us. They took it away from us slowly. You didn't have any full service per se anymore. You had to beg for it for a minute. There was still the guy out there on the gas island, taking your money and all that. Then, nope. Now then you had to go walk up to the caged window and give him your money. And I remember that because I worked at a gas station when I was a kid. And when they first switched over to that prepay, you get these old codgers like my age now storming up there. I don't know how much it's going to take. Well, I'm not going to keep your whole 20, sir. You put $17 in it, march your old ass back up here, and I'll give you your $3. Well,
Wait. Never mind.
yeah, you could fill a car up for less than $20 back then.
God, I missed
No, $10.
Hey, I put under 17 gallons of gas in my truck this morning, and the pump shut off at $100. Welcome to California.
Oh, yeah.
$6
I had
a
mine
gallon.
was 96. When I had my truck when I was 18, 19, around the time Die Hard came out. For any of you, for reference, if you look at the beginning of Die Hard when the cop is walking out of the AM/PM Mini Mart and you see the gas prices, they were like 76, 78 cents a
yep.
gallon. You could fill a fucking mini truck for under $10.
Yep. So we went from the whole gas station thing to more recently that people will understand is the self-checkout at whether it's a supermarket, whether it's the big box store, for lumber and lawn products. And this this is where it's starting to get me. You go and you scan your items. You got to go pick up your stuff. You scan your stuff. You're doing all the shit somebody else used to do, and then they have the nerve to get on you and say, "Pardon me, sir, that didn't scan correctly." And they're looking down their nose like you're an idiot. I'm like, wait a minute. This is your goddamn product, your goddamn machine to scan it. The barcode is on the, but I did it wrong. Okay. Okay. But
you should have said, I wasn't trained.
yeah, no shit, man. But the one that got me is you go in now, you order a sandwich. I want a pastrami and cheese on rye, lettuce, tomato, mustard. And the guy looks at you and goes, yeah, the mustard's over there.
What?
Huh? No, because the condiment's in packs now.
That's a COVID thing.
I don't give a shit what it is. I
don't agree with it,
am not a
but
de
that's a COVID
facto
thing.
employee at Joe's Sandwiches here. I come in, I order the sandwich, I pay you the money for the sandwich. That's the end of my responsibility in this fucking process. Do you understand? I want my whole sandwich, and don't hand me an empty cup and tell me the drinks in the lid are over there. No, I don't like this shit. I want the America I grew up in, God damn it. Okay, continue on with your story, sir. Thank you. I feel much better about myself now.
Good man. So earlier this week, or, let's not even talk about the time continuum thing. It'll be 2 weeks ago by the time this comes out. Tiny Wife is driving her automobile for something.
You really going to talk about this?
You're going to talk about this,
I'm going to talk about this shit.
Okay.
So she's at an intersection, and the car starts acting a little sluggish, and then her air conditioner starts blowing out hot air. Check engine light comes on.
Anthony, please roll the Vivaldi again.
Why?
Please go right ahead. Continue telling your story.
Oh, shit. Okay. Proceed. So anyway, Tiny Wife calls me and tells me what happened, but she can get the car home. She calls the dealer. Okay, and I guess I need to be specific.
What type of vehicle is this again, sir?
Bavarian Motorworks.
Broke my wallet.
So anyway, she calls them. They make an appointment for her on Thursday. We drop the car off on Wednesday. Thursday afternoon, I walk into my wife's office, and she is talking to the service tech, and she's writing stuff down. And she looks at me and writes down the number 6576, something to that effect. Now,
where was the decimal point?
I haven't given one yet. So the initial diagnostic of this was about $700. And to my wife's surprise, she's like, but wait a minute, isn't it covered under warranty? Well, your warranty expired back in January. Poor Tiny Wife looks at me like,
why didn't we get rid of this goddamn car in December?
that's exactly it.
Gotcha.
Yep. So anyway, let me tell you what was wrong. So they go ahead and test the air conditioning, and there's a severed hose, and there's some severed wiring caused by none other than a rodent. So basically a rodent chewed through the air conditioner hose and some engine wiring. And it's 6,500 something and still counting because the computer can't talk to the car yet because some wires have been chewed. So once they repair that and run it through the computer, there could be more wrong with it. Now, I'm vapor locking at this point because I'm just like, this motherfucker's going to cost us like $8,000 to $10,000 to fix. Thankfully, the service tech said, well, maybe you should call your insurance company. They might cover it. So I'm praying as I'm calling my insurer and saying to myself, okay, is this something that you cover? And I'm just like, my sphincter is puckering up, just waiting for the answer, praying that it's not, no, Mr. Robinson, we don't, that's not covered. Thankfully, it's covered under comprehensive.
Saved by the company squirrel.
Yes. The squirrel was my undoing. Oh, the rodent was my undoing. The company squirrel saved my life. So, of course, my wife, being indignant, and she's adorable when she's indignant, She wants no parts of this car anymore. She's like, so we're walking.
It has failed me.
So she's walking through the dealership looking for another car. And of course, she borrowed mine a couple of times. And she's like, I really like your Mercedes. I said, well, you can come over to the Mercedes side if you like. So we go over to the Mercedes dealership. My wife talks too much.
When's the new Mercedes getting here?
Probably in a couple of months. Who knows? I mean, it could be that. I said, I'm not forcing you to get a Mercedes, but she's like, oh, no, I like your car. It's like more nimble. It's like BMW has great interior, but the Mercedes just drives so much smoother.
Dude, she's driving a box that was built. What year is that one?
It's an 18.
And your Merc is a.
Mine's a 16.
Enough said.
So she's getting the 16, you getting a new car. Is that what I'm hearing, brother?
Funny thing.
You know that's not going to
I
happen.
know. That's why I said it.
No. Here's the funny thing. There was a brand new Dodge Ram at the BMW dealership. I mean, barely had maybe.
A pickup?
Yeah, about 2,000 miles on it. And she was kind of eyeing that because, see, as she puts it, I want something I can climb into. And I'm saying to myself, but I
Your
was
wife's
smarter.
3'7", man. She climbs into that BMW.
Yeah, I was about to say, let me finish the joke.
Love you,
I was
Sue.
thinking to myself, that's most cars love.
Yeah. Say, you got a wide choice of vehicles right there based on that theory. Woo.
Yeah, so, yeah. And the sad
but
part.
wait a
here's the
minute,
sad
wait a
part.
minute.
Wait, hold on. Here's the sad part. When I talked to the insurance agent, she's like, this is not the first time I've heard this story. As of recent, apparently we've got a influx of rodents.
It's a super bloom year for rodents. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a rat rebellion
There
or
we
a
go.
mouse
There we
rebellion.
go.
Take your
The
pick.
plague will be back. The Black Death will be upon us.
They're selling the copper for drug money.
See, this is why we have
Yeah,
camera gorilla.
somewhere in the corner of Scott's garage, there's a rat leaning back against the wall with a little strap around one arm. I got some copper out of that BMW. I'm good for 3 days.
So, Larry,
Sir.
what flashed through your mind when Sue was going to buy a truck? The motorhome's getting sold. The trailer's getting bought.
Oh, no. I mean, you're on a whole different level. I was thinking of looking up the website where my son Pat got the bullhorns for his Ranger pickup, and then the Confederate flag rear window, and the Yosemite Sam mud flaps. I mean, Jesus Christ, it's endless the possibilities.
Mm-hmm.
But the fly fishing rod
Antenna?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hey, I got a buddy that can do you a bandana pattern headliner to go with that.
Oh, perfect. Yeah. And then you got to get all those little stick-on accessories from like AutoZone, the imitation chrome key protector that goes around the little lock. The bedazzled
License plate frame?
Philadelphia Eagles license plate frame, because she is from Pennsylvania. Or is she a Steelers fan?
No, she roots for the Niners, remember?
Hey,
Oh, yeah, Christ.
And
That's already rainbow flavored.
and if you really want to confuse people, get the headlight eyelashes and a pair of truck nuts.
Whoa!
But the truck nuts are pink.
Blue.
Blue. Wow. Not your truck nuts. Jesus.
Okay.
Just get a little pair of get a peanut shell and paint it blue and hang it off the back of my VW, okay?
Mission. I'm willing to accept this mission. Oh, God.
No, I have to get to this part. So
There's more.
we go through.
Jesus.
We go to the Mercedes dealership, and my apology to anyone who sells cars for a living. Once I walk into a dealership, I'm not as nice a guy as I am on the podcast or, doing normal
Life in
dating-
general.
Life in general. I'm not a nice person.
He expects you people are trying to rip him off, is what he's saying.
Pretty much, yeah. So, when they get to we have this one, and he points out one, and it's X amount of money, and he says to my wife, so is this how much money you were willing to spend? I looked up and said, hush. I said, we got to talk about that number. So no. If you're in the ballpark, maybe. But it's this whole thing where they try to get you to buy or get excited about the car. And it's like, oh, yeah, isn't this great? Isn't what you like to say? That's all right.
Hey, man, the last time I got excited about a car, Chevys were $6,000. Okay? I had a customer come into the shop last week in his brand new 2022 Ford F-250 four-door dually.
$125,000?
$118,000 for that truck. That's more than I paid for my first house.
That hurts.
And he was just excited as hell about it. In this guy's defense, he uses this vehicle during the course of his job. But holy Christ, man.
But remember, he gets to write off about 40 or 60% of his depreciation.
I understand all that, but also for that math to work, you have to be making this X amount of money. So, the depreciation doesn't really come into play until you hit that number. And it's like, God, it was a beautiful truck. Don't get me wrong. It was a nice truck. But man, that is just, much like the cigar pricing topic earlier.
Yeah.
I think we have hit a ceiling for this consumer that is above my line of expenditure right there.
Yeah.
Damn. That is crazy.
Yeah, man.
Crazy. I never thought I'd see something like that. $100,000+ truck. I mean, that wasn't, that didn't say Kenworth or Peterbilt on the front of it. You know what I mean?
Or even Roush or something like that. Yeah. Hennessy. No, seriously.
No, I'm giving you a chance to explain.
There's a company. It has nothing to do with the liquor. It is called Hennessy. They do vehicle upgrades, typically to American cars. They soup them up. They do all this fancy interior on all these things, and their price tag jumps over six figures.
Okay.
Ouch.
Woohoo! If that's your thing.
Everybody's got a program.
Exactly. That's what I say.
So, the podcast consumer has got their fill of our opinions on this show.
Yes, they did.
All right. Hey, let's jump back to cigars for a minute.
Yeah.
Greg, how's that thing treating you?
The flavor's great. Unfortunately, what I'm having right now, and because we're on the show and I'm not going to get up and walk over there, I need a little bit of a draw poker. I've kind of got a little bit of a plug in it now, and that's just from heat expansion. Mm-hmm. So once I get past that, it'll smoke a lot better. But right now, it's trying to suck a golf ball through a garden hose.
Where's the company squirrel when we need him?
Amen. Wow. Yeah, back. I've been doing more talking than smoking, so I still got quite a bit left on this Superfly. But as always, just a great cigar. Nice, even smoke. Getting a good draw on this, and it's doing well after the big full breakfast we had. So I like it.
Well, as usual, the Yamasa does not disappoint in all of its Davidoff finery. Created with the most fastidious of cigar creation. The Dominican and Nicaraguan leaves embrace it and wrap it so wonderfully and beautifully to create a smooth and consistent smoke. A treat for anyone from the novice to the connoisseur.
Packed in true Corinthian leather.
Davidoff, is there a substitute? No, there is not.
Step into the liquor store for the Davidon'ts. For $1.29 3-pack. Also in grape flavor, which is soon to be outlawed. So get them now.
I think I'm going to have to throw a needle scratch right there.
Yes.
Oh, God.
Jesus. What have they done to my Chrysler Cordoba?
I still laugh at Ricardo Montalban describing it as a nimble sports car. It's a goddamn boat. If you ever get an opportunity to go into YouTube, pull up Ricardo Montalban and the Chrysler Cordoba. And as he's described it in his beautiful Ricardo Montalban voice, it's going up this
nimble sports car. You couldn't turn this son of a bitch around in 8 parking spaces. Like, Jesus. And an ugly goddamn car too, man.
Yeah.
This is why Chrysler, they made some ugly ass cars. I'm just saying. Now, which apparently doesn't matter because damn near every car manufactured nowadays is ugly. But
no, I can tell you who was worse. AMC.
Oh yeah, well hey, let's make everything we produce. Let's make it look like a doorstop or a brick. There's a bitchin' idea. Or what was it? The
Pacer.
The Pacer. Was that the one that looked like somebody overblew a balloon animal?
Yes. That's the perfect description.
And you could just have like white, beige, black, red. No, we got some chartreuse. We have a indigo purple Pacer. I mean, who in the hell? What were they smoking at Chrysler when they came up with this shit?
Welcome to the 70s.
And God bless them. For all you guys that are Mopar guys out there, I mean, you just embraced the shit out of those years with Mopar.
Oh, hell yeah.
Because anybody that took a AMX and modified an AMX, there was an entire line of parts for AMX. You got a car that looks like a rat trap. Looks like a box of decon with wheels. And they made all this shit. And you go to the old car, the old time car shows, like Good Guys at Pleasanton and stuff like that. For those of you in California. I guarantee you, every year you go, you will see some guy with an AMX that's got rabbit hijackers on it and then big ass wide rims like off a sprint car on the back. Because that was what you did in the 70s, And I'm like,
Camera Gorilla?
Greg, that was 1970.
You have another project to pull pictures of said cars so that our viewers who are on YouTube can get a see of what it looks like.
As he clicks his pin. And he's like, these sons of bitches need to pay me more money. Unfortunately for you, Camera Gorilla, it's a union job, and you're locked in at this rate until the next contract, which theoretically I'll probably be dead. So screw you. You all right there, Scott?
I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good.
I have a sneaking suspicion I'm taking back over production of the show now.
Yeah. No, he just throws his shit on the ground. He flips the table, man. Yeah, I'm out of here.
No, you're not.
Remember how you said you want to watch me edit one? Mm-hmm. This ain't the one.
Okay.
Jackass. All right. Well, shall we stick a fork in it?
Before you do, I'm going to step in role as partial social media manager.
Please
There was a note, or rather a subject that very briefly came up in the last episode, and it kind of snuck its way in there and then got moved on past real quick because the episode was fantastic. And if you haven't listened to it, go listen to it because it was an awesome episode. But there's some news for the podcast listeners that they may have missed last episode that you might want to elaborate on before we out. Gregory?
You're the host.
No, Gregory. I just delegated. That's called delegation. So, Gregory.
So, graciously, we have been admitted into PCA. We are now officially recognized cigar media
by the
Premium Cigar
Authority or
Association.
Authority. Asshole.
Well, they are, in charge, kind of. But yeah, so it's kind of nice. It was a goal that we've been working on for many years, and now we made it.
Oh, by the way, wear that little. Do they have like lapel pins or any shit like that?
No, I wish they
We
did.
need to talk, maybe that's something we should come up with.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, new project for you, Camera Gorilla. Fine.
He looks so dejected.
He's like, you see him reach for his wallet. He's looking at his check stub. Can I justify all this? We need a PCA logo.
I've got one. I can send it to him.
Well, yeah. See there? Problem solved. Jesus.
Anthony, just remember, I'll bring you some more cigars.
Yeah, he's going to bring you all that shit he didn't like.
No. Oh, by the way, remember we talked a couple of episodes back, and then let's wrap this up so we're not rambling on as we do.
Too late.
But we do have that cigar review of the cigar that I bought off Cigar Bid simply because of the name. We got to bring that up on the show in the future.
Oh, yeah. We got to do that. Hey, I don't want to cold smoke that.
Okay.
Can I get one of those to try?
Of course. Yes.
You know, and that way I can form an opinion as to, you know, how
Bad.
How
Yeah,
fabulous that is.
ditto.
Because, you know, I don't mind cold smoking something that's legitimate, but
Considering I paid $20 for an entire box of cigars.
yeah, I'm, you know, there's got to be there's got to be a line in the sand as to what we will cold review as far as none of us having tried this.
Right.
Just as a point of reference.
Oh, real quick. Just very quickly. Just a preview for the next show. I may be laying on a couch doing the show, and the jokes are going to write themselves. So I'm just going to leave you guys with that preview.
And we're out. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, 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 dun. There's Anthony over there going, God damn it, I got to edit something in there, too.
All right. Camera Gorilla taking us home. Looks like my smoke is getting closer to the nub and the scotch glass. Well,
It's a rum glass today, my friend.
that it is. Now the rum glass is empty, so I think it's about that time. I want to thank our audience out there, and on behalf of Camera Gorilla, Greg, and Larry, and myself, thank you for listening. Check us out at LumenCigarCartel.com. Like and share us on Facebook. Follow us on Instagram. Don't be a stranger. Drop us a line and let us know you're out there. I'm Scott Robinson, and on behalf of all of us here at Beyond the Humidor, we look forward to chatting with you on the next episode. But until then, as I always say, stay safe and healthy out there. And good smoke, good drink, and good life.